Now we're going to talk about the positioning of the MicroConnect Macau exchange. Unlike traditional exchanges where you raise capital by issuing a bond or debt instrument or equity or stock, this new exchange is actually organizing the market to raise funding, allow consumer businesses in the store level businesses to raise capital by essentially selling a portion of their daily revenues. So investors actually are purchasing a new asset class that we call DRO, daily revenue obligations. Essentially, this new asset class allowing investors to directly purchase and hold the cash flow from the daily revenues digitally deducted and collected by what we call an ARM, an automated repayment mechanism, which is a digital device that is currently embedded in China's financial infrastructure for small shop businesses. As we all know, China now is highly digitalized and widely digitalized, particularly at the small store level businesses. We are now leveraging on that micro market infrastructure in the payment system of Chinese consumer economy to essentially allow us to structure a new financial instrument where investment is made on one hand and returns are secured on a digital arm that allow the investors and allow the exchange to daily collect directly from the top line revenue as part of the contractual arrangement for that investment. And this new instrument is not dead because the little guys don't have to pay back if it doesn't work out. It is not equity because we're not really holding their permanent ownership and entitlement forever. And so it is really a perfect capital for the little guy. But why would investor be interested in doing that? Well, the investor is doing it because it's also presenting the investor with the opportunity of investing in what I call a perfect capital as well. Why is that? It's because of the daily collection of returns directly from revenue. That is almost like a daily compounding of the returns. So every day you're taking an incremental exit, your exposure, risk exposure to that position is diminishing every day, and the cash that you collected every day can immediately be deployed and reinvested and earning additional returns. So the aggregated return of the investors from the DRO is significantly higher than what appears to be the cost that are paying by individual small businesses. And a small business pays something around 13%, for example, but the IRR for the investors can be in the mid-20s. It's simply because of the daily compounding effect of reinvestment. So this is the new way of investing. MicroConnect has successfully executed this model, and actually we have made investment into 2,500 shops to date out of about 200 franchisors. We're doing it through the franchisors because the franchisors would have already have the system embedded and built in the shops of their franchise. And we are funding for the franchisors' new store build out in exchange for a portion of agreed upon percentage of revenue of the existing stores. So that essentially is a financial swap that allow us to immediately after we depart our cash investment be able to collect that return. So that allow us to reinvest quickly, as I said before, but also learning much more on a compounded basis as well, so that our next investment is smarter than the previous one. And this is sort of a continuously optimizing investment scheme is really the new way to go. This is obviously can only happen in China today, simply because of the massive digitalization of its grassroots economy. And China is largely a cashless society. And in a cashless society, we are able to not only determine the transparency of revenue, but we are able to digitally directly collect as part of the investment swap. So this is really, a new way, a new defining moment of how financial market is going to evolve, and this is something that we are quite looking forward to. And hopefully you will be able to try and see and feel how this is going to work yourself. And I think this is the way that we probably see the future is going to lie.